Hey, so did your phone blow up after the game? And if it did, was it more about the catch or the punt return?
A little bit of both, to be honest.
Not that you're ever surprised by one of them. Which one would you maybe look at the film and be more surprised about?
You know, I was more surprised at the catch because it didn't really feel like that on the field, and then when I saw it on film, I saw like how fully extended I was. It didn't feel like that on the field.
Yeah, something special in your mind when you see a ball like that.
No, just nothing's going through my mind really. I'm just seeing the ball, just going for it.
What would you rank that catch in the realm of catches that you've had?
That's honestly probably the best catch I've ever made, to be honest.
Was it more special because it was at USC, or just the feeling and the Coliseum, or just what was your emotion like during that play?
You know, I feel like I kind of gathered too early to jump, and then that's what led to me having to fully extend like that. Like I literally could not get to that ball unless I used one hand, so it just ended up working out.
How do you practice something like
You know, I use a jug machine every day after practice. You know, I stay every day. You know, all the wide receivers do. And, you know, work on different types of catches behind me, one-handed, two-handed, all different types.
that? How would you compare the feeling of the catch on return, shattering the backboard, similarities in those ways?
You know, I don't think anything will ever compare to the backboard. That was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime rush. But it's definitely up there. It's definitely up there.
When did you do that one?
In high school, my senior year.
Is it true that it was with the jump shot?
That I broke the backboard?
Yeah, with a jumper.
No, sir. Not true at all. You know, it was one of those punts where, you know, I felt like I had a little bit of room, and you know, I just tried to reverse the field because I felt like that was the only place I could go. And then, you know, Frank, Ryan Jenkins, Daz, and Kyle made beautiful blocks, and that's definitely what sprung me, and that's the only reason I scored on that play.
What about learning the dynamics of punt return? We saw you working on that today. When to catch, when to let it go over your head. That's got to be just an instantaneous decision you have to make.
Yeah, you know, I just feel like there's a lot of things you have to account for. You have to account how the ball is coming. Is it going to carry? Is it going to drop? And, you know, those are things that I'm going to have to work on in order to become the punt returner that I know I can become, because I feel like right now I'm a little bit raw. I feel like I just improvise a lot out there, and you know, I have to make better decisions, and I have to be more prepared going into games.
You feel a lot of this, obviously, the reactions and stuff, there's a lot of noise that you try to filter out, but what messages from family or people that are close to you really stuck out about just the game that you had and catch, punt return, and just in general?
You know, my family, you know, good game or bad game, they always had my back. You know, they just tried to tell me how blessed I am. You know, just to stay humble, and you know, like you said, there's a lot of outside noise, there's a lot of things that can cloud your right mind, and you know, they do a great job of making sure I always stay level-headed, and I'm always working towards my next goal.
Frank said that he said it was all God on that catch. Just your initial reaction just when it happened and what you did with him.
You know, I really do think God was with me on that catch. You know, that was one of those things where it was just the ball placement, the way I jumped, you know, the way the defender was playing. That really might have been a once in a career type of catch, and you know, I just feel like I was very blessed to be able to do something like that.
Coach said earlier last week that he had a phone conversation with you about where you're at, where you want to get to, and all that kind of thing. How do you think that played out in the USC game, just based on that conversation and what you guys were trying to get accomplished there?
You know, we knew there was so much more that we could do. We knew we could play harder. We knew we can work on our fundamentals throughout the week of practice. And you know, when he spoke to me, he just told me we had to flip the switch. We had to be ready going into USC week, and you know, every game is a must-win, and that's how we have to treat it the rest of the season. So for us, it's just getting extra film in, getting extra work after practice, just making sure we're fully prepared for every game and every challenge and every stepping stone that's in our way.
Could you tell the difference based on what the conversation you two had Saturday?
Yeah, I could just tell the difference in focus. You know, everybody just seemed like they were they were locked in, but in a different type of way. It wasn't, we weren't too high and we were never too low. Like, I feel like we just stayed level-headed the whole game.
Coach Ligon said after the game that you actually got on the headset and told him to just throw it up in your direction. Is that true? And also, have you done that before?
The only time I've ever done that was in the U of A game last year. You know, I told Manny, no matter what happens, just throw me the ball. And, you know, after I made that catch, that was out of bounds. I was actually out of bounds. I just felt like, you know, I got it. It was just something in me that was like, you know, I got it. So I got on the headset and I just told Coach Likens to just trust me. I just had a certain type of feeling and you know, I wasn't going to go throughout that game with regret, you know. The window of opportunity is very short and you know, I don't want to regret anything looking back in life.
What did you think of Manny's run? He scored. Were you, I mean, obviously they came with the blitz, Coach talked about it, but were you surprised in the fact that no one pitches up to him?
Yeah, you know, I was confused a little bit at first because I thought he was going to hand it off to Eno, and I was blocking, and when I looked, he was free, and I was just excited. I was excited he scored.
So who keeps you humble in this whole process, specifically kind of busting your chops?
You know, definitely my grandmother, but it's a variation of a lot of people. You know, when I speak to people, I really try to take everything in, and you know, a lot of people in my life, they have my best interest, and you know, I just try to take in a lot from many people, but the main person is definitely my grandmother. You know, good game, bad game, she always tells me to stay level-headed, stay humble. And you know, that's how I was raised, and that's how I'll be for the rest of my life.
You learned from Derek King.
You know, a lot of fundamental stuff. You know, there's a lot that goes into being a receiver. You can't just go out there unprepared. You have to know the exact release you're doing before the play. And he's really helped me out with stuff like that this season. And you know, I feel like last week, a lot of my success came from working with him and talking to him about what I need to do and what I need to get better at.
Is the punt returning almost harder to learn and get used to because the catches, it's more instinctive, whereas, like you said, there are other variables when it comes to fielding punts and flight of the ball. Is that kind of harder to get used to?
Yeah, definitely, especially because I've never done it. You know, I only started doing punt return once I got to college, and you know, it was something that I felt like I can handle. But at the same time, there's so much more work that needs to be put in. There's so many different things I need to do to become a great punt returner.
Can you talk a little about Coach Fisher and what he's brought to the wide receiver?
You know, I feel like each year, each wide receiver coach has done something different for me in each aspect of my game. And, you know, I feel like Coach Fish, with having so much experience, he's kind of brought all of that together. And you know, he's doing his best to mold me into an all-around wide receiver instead of just, you know, a possession receiver. And, you know, real grateful to have somebody like him on the staff.
When you look at the Utah secondary, what's the challenges that you're finding?
I feel like they're aggressive. You know, I feel like Utah is one of the most, if not the most aggressive team in the Pac-12. And for me, this game, I feel like it's more of keeping my head, you know, making sure I don't get upset. You know, it's going to be a real physical game, and you know, it's really just a mindset for me.
I was going to watch the film against USC and say if you're not doing anything in this game, you have to stop the field area. Do you hope that approach can open things up for your team?
Yeah, you know, I've been saying it preseason, throughout the whole season. If they feel like we need to double team this guy, if we need to bracket this guy, then you know they will get beat by other players on our team because we have tremendous talent all across the board. So if that's something they feel like they need to do, I'm not worried about how many balls I catch, how many yards I have. I just want to win the game.
You're usually blocking, obviously. When you look at the film, you see Eno make some runs. I mean, just because of looseness, they couldn't, back in Western broadcast, they couldn't stop talking about. I mean, it's instinctive for a running back. You have instincts as a receiver. But can you see how he's avoiding some of these tackles on film? What goes through your head?
It kind of puts me in a bind sometimes because sometimes you think there's no way he's going to get out of that tackle. There's absolutely no way. And then he gets out of it, and then your man might be the man that makes the tackle. So when you have a running back like Eno, you have to make sure you're truly finishing plays and you never give up because he can break a tackle at any point in the game.
When you see single high coverage with press coverage on corners, does that excite you? Does that get you like excited for that play?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I feel like if there's no safety on the top man coverage, I always feel like I have a chance to come down with the ball. So my eyes light up when I see that, and I don't see that too often anymore. So it's something that really excites me.
When did you master getting right up on the jump machine and catching it just like right there?
I feel like I started to get good at it probably after my freshman season. Once I really started working at it, I saw it on Instagram, and I was thinking to myself, you know, why not do it with one hand? You know, make my hands better. So that's when I really started to get skilled with it.
How much do you think that's helped just strengthen your hands?
A tremendous amount, especially when it comes to those catches where DBs are right on your back trying to claw the ball out, and you know that's the extra work that a lot of people don't see, and that's something I'll continue to do throughout my career.
You had that
Last question, guys.
relationship with last year as your position coach, now as the OC. Was that carried over in just terms of communication and, you know, what you're able to kind of expect from each other?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he was a big part of my success last year. Just with all the fundamentals he brought to the table with how successful he wanted us to be. But honestly, I look at Coach Likens more like, I feel like he helps me more like with off the field stuff. You know, he has great faith, and you know when he speaks in those team meetings, I really absorb it all, because when he speaks, I feel like he truly does care about us, and you know that's just somebody who's helped me tremendously in both aspects of my life, football and in the real world.
Thanks, Gil.
Thank you.